Padres pregame thoughts. Padres and the Orioles series finale tonight. 5:40 is the first pitch, not 6:40, 5:40. Hoodie giveaway, and Baltimore's got to get out of town, so they're pushing the start time up an hour. Usually series finale Wednesday, it's at 1:10, but there's a giveaway tonight, so 5:40, and the Padres, they're continuing the homestand. It's not like they have to get out of town as well. Blake Snell on the mound. Feels like a must-win game. Bob Melvin did utter those words yesterday at the press conference after the game with the media. He said his tongue was twisted, but I think we all know that he thinks these are must-win games, and I think players in that clubhouse feel that as well. They might not say that to the media and say, no, we're not pressing, we're not worrying or anything like that, but I mean, just look at the standings. Look how many games left that the Padres have. And tonight, it's a must-win game for a couple reasons, not just the standings, but because of the great offensive performance that they had last night, and Blake Snell's on the mound. Blake Snell's the Padres' best starting pitcher, for sure, especially out of anyone that's healthy. So take advantage of Blake Snell being on the mound, especially if Snell's going to pitch like he has for the most part this season. These last couple months, he's been like the best pitcher in baseball, and he's probably on his way to winning the NL Cy Young if he can keep this up. So they got to capitalize on that, and capitalize on having a great game last night and continuing that here throughout the rest of this homestand. I'm not saying they're going to score 10 runs a game or expect them to do that the rest of this homestand. That's unrealistic, obviously. But don't get shut out. Don't make tonight be the 5th time this season that the Padres have been shut out after dropping double digits on their opponent the day before, right? Don't do that. And in the standings, right, 5.5 games back, pretty much everything went right last night, right? The teams ahead of them lost, especially the team, the Marlins, holding that final wild card spot, and the Padres won, so they're not 6.5 back, 5.5. But they could just take that step right back and be right back where they were after the first game of this series if they lose tonight and things go wrong in the other games that they can't control. So control what they can control. Go 1-0 every day. That's got to be the mentality. My Underdog Fantasy pick, Blake Snell, I'm going to go lower on the pitch count. Underdog Fantasy has it at, I think, 101.5 as the higher-lower. I'm sorry, I'm not going to go higher on that. No, just not happening, especially with Snell on the mound. And lineup-wise, Ben Gamel. So everything is pretty much expected except Ben Gamel. He is DHing. Ben Gamel. He has not played in the big leagues this season. Or he had not until last night, obviously, right? He was with the Pirates last year. He's been with a bunch of big league teams, but he's not known for his offense. He is known for his defense. He can give you some offense, but for him to be DHing tonight, that just shows you how there's no depth on this bench. And it just shows you how small of amount of belief the Padres have in Matt Carpenter. They don't have a belief in him, is what I'm trying to say. Like, there's just, first at bat in 3 weeks last night, they're not going to have him DH. But also I question the urgency when you have Ben Gamel DHing tonight, when you could have someone who's not starting, the other catcher, be the DH. I'm sorry, having Campy and Gary in the lineup is better than having Ben Gamel and only one of them in the lineup. It just is. You know, having Campy on the bench and having Ben Gamel in the lineup as the DH, that doesn't make sense to me. I get it, protecting themselves. They don't want to lose the DH if the starter gets hurt, blah, blah, blah. Want to give the backup some rest, but come on, you need some urgency. Sorry, having Ben Gamel DH, that does not show urgency. That does not tell the fans that we are trying our 100% best to win tonight's game. That doesn't show that. And we'll see if Josh Hader pitches. That's another thing about the urgency. I get that he's a 9th inning guy, 1-inning guy. Bob Melvin wants to have him close out games, but there's no guarantee that it's going to get to that. And he hasn't pitched in more than a week. Show some urgency here and pitch your best pitcher. You know? Especially with Blake Snell on the mound. Like, I get it. If they're in a save situation and it's the 7th inning, then they're probably going to save Hader. But if it's a tie game or maybe you're down by a run, I'm sorry. Use him. Because I'm trying to get the most out of him. I'm trying to have urgency here. I'm trying to win this baseball game. And I think the best way, if you're down by 1, let's say, tonight, the best way to keep you in that game is to have your best pitcher on the mound. out of that bullpen, and that's Josh Hader. If they're not going to use Hader there, okay, then use Robert Suarez. You know, don't be afraid to use your best arms, even if you're down by one or if it's tied. I'm tired of them not using Hader. And I get part of it is probably what he's saying, but I'm sure part of it is the Padres as well. And that just doesn't show urgency to me. So we'll see how this game plays out. But yeah, Ben Gamel DHing just shows you where this organization is depth-wise and urgency. I think if they were really urgent, then you would have Gary and Campy both be in the lineup instead of having Ben Gamel be the DH. Nothing against Ben. I like his first name, love it, but he's not a DH. He's not someone that should be DHing. He just shouldn't be. I'll have a show tonight when I get home, post-game reaction as well, and then I should have an interview with Jim Callis going out either tomorrow or Friday, so stay tuned for that. Big prospect guru. He can catch us up on the draft and the Padres farm system, Ethan Salas, Jackson Merrill, so that should be fun. All right, pregame thoughts. Talk to you guys later.